Hi, my name is Stevie and I like to write songs. This is part 4 of making an 80s style hair metal hard rock type song. We'll get the song finished today and we'll do some artwork for the single release. So let's go. Last week when I was doing the guitar solo, I got a little bit carried away and I ended up finishing the song last week. But when I was editing the video, I sort of thought the video was getting a bit long, so I thought I would leave that section for this week. So we're going to go back in time to last week and I'll show you all the footage that I recorded of me finishing the song. And then when we're finished that, we'll come back to now and I'll start doing the artwork. So let's have a look at that first. I was sort of thinking that what we were originally calling the chorus here.
There's always a cost and a compromise. We know the truth that is brutalized. All in the eyes of the sacrifice.
So when it goes back to the main riff of the song, do something simple and repetitive over the top of that. Let's do some arrangement work as well. When we come out of here, I think maybe that goes into the original chorus, so I think we should maybe take this out because we'll be going back to our new chorus, which is this. And maybe do a repeat on it. Maybe we could go into the da 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 bam. I think that will be a cool ending. We'll assemble the ending now first, and then we'll work on the chorus. I really love it when all the material that you need to finish a song is already there in the material of the song. So that wee idea of just using the lead up into the chorus as the ending was very satisfying for me because it keeps the whole song minimalistic and coherent. So the idea that I had at the end of last week's session was just following the guitar line. So we're singing, we are the future, we are one, and just repeat that. We are the trouble is, I really don't like that phrase, we are the future, we are one. It does have a kind of a cheesy 80s vibe to it. It is a bit cringy, but in a way that I don't really like. I think we could come up with something a wee bit better than that. So I'm going to work on that for a while and see if we can come up with slightly better lines. Kind of thinking about this idea. Sometimes it's a good idea when you're writing songs to try and think of something visual and then describe it or explain it in words. It makes the lyrics quite visual. And for some reason in this, I'm thinking about people blindly following a cause or blindly being engaged in eternal war. And it kind of reminds me of the Anthrax Among the Living album sleeve, where we have all these people dressed in grey, all in a line, all walking in the same direction. And then one guy just turning around, tipping his hat in the wrong direction. It's kind of a good metaphorical image as well. And so I'm thinking about something like we all march in the same direction. We all follow the same lead, like sheep. Trying to think of some way of saying everybody's going in the same direction. I think maybe shoulder to shoulder works instead of we are one. Shoulder to shoulder. If it's something shoulder to shoulder. So I've resorted to the rhyming dictionary, trying to find things that might rhyme with shoulder. So we could go boulder to boulder, shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't really find anything. There's not anything all that satisfying. But then I stumbled across the idea of over and over, as in the eternal circular state of war. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder. So I think that works, although it doesn't seem like enough. It seems like we maybe need 4 lines, which wasn't my original intention, but it seems to be going that way anyway. We have over and over, shoulder to shoulder. You know, it's very common when I write a song that I know what the title's going to be before we start. But this time I don't, and I'm scanning all the lyrics, apart from the word afterglow, which sort of jumps out at me, and I think, well, it could potentially be called afterglow. I can't see anything else that's really working for me. There's always a cause worth fighting for, now and forever as it was before, locked in a circular state of war. There's always a cost and a compromise. We are the truth that is brutalized, born in the eyes of the sacrificed. Fallen have fallen so the living can love. Thinking about the visual idea of like lemmings running to their death over a cliff, people voting against their own self-interest in elections. It's like, we do stuff, and what's the point in it? We're all going to die anyway. What will it matter? I've thought of a phrase, the dead and the dying. And if I could work that into the lyrics, I think that would be a great title for the song. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, something, the dead and the dying. So we've nearly set up that rhyme for dying. Let's look up the rhyming dictionary again. Okay, crying, flying, applying, complying, defying, denying, undying won't work, supplying. I like that there's a dichotomy there, complying and defying. We see the lyrics again. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, complying, defying, the dead and the dying. Wow, I really like that. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, complying, defying, the dead and the dying. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, complying, defying, the dead and the dying. I like it. Let's record that and see how we get on. Right, what have we got here? Let's listen to it from slightly further back.
There's always a cost and a compromise. We know the truth that is brutalized, born in the eyes of the sacrificed. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, complying, defying, the dead and the dying.
Let me just show you what I did with the vocals as well. So we have this lead vocal,
Over and over.
and then I've doubled it up and panned it left and right, and I've got it 6 dB quieter.
Over and over.
And then I realized I was starting on the 5 of the chord. So I realized I could do a lower harmony starting on the 3rd of the chord and just follow it in parallel. So I've got these harmonies.
Over and over. Shoulder to shoulder. Complying, defying, the dead and the dying.
Okay. So we could copy this now up to after the guitar solo and see if it works up here. And a repeat of the chorus. Getting a strong feeling that maybe at the end there, when we start repeating that chorus, maybe we could have some kind of vocal improvisation going on as it's reaching the end. The other thing I forgot to check is whether or not this little ending works with the vocals. Let's see. Ah, great. Works perfectly. Some kind of vocal improvisation. Right. You know what? I'm definitely going to have to go away for a break and come back and maybe listen to it fresh and see what I can come up with as far as just some kind of vocal detail, something. You know what I mean? Those types of things that are in 80s songs. Right, so I think that's probably enough. Let me hear it.
Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, supplying, defying the dead and the dying. Over and over, shoulder to shoulder, supplying, defying the dead and the dying.
I think we got it. I pretty much think that's it. I can't think of anything else to do in the song. I think we're sort of pretty much ready for a final listen. Okay, so here's the full song finished.
Take a moment of cool reflection. Step back to the reverie. Prepare for a course correction in the shelter of memory. A ray of sunlight casts a shadow. A flicker of doubt breaks the afterglow. It's never black and white, there's always two sides. There's always a cause we're fighting for. Knowing forever as it was before. Locked in a circular state of war. There's always a cause and a compromise. We know the truth that is
Great. I wrote a song. See, how satisfying is that? Sit down, write a fucking song. It's great. I love it. Gives me such a buzz to start with absolutely nothing and finish up with a recorded song. It's great. Love it. Best hobby in the world. All right, so we're back in the present day. Let's have a look at doing some artwork now for the single release. And for that, I use a combination of AI tools and GIMP, which is a free software that's like Photoshop. Right, so here we are in GIMP, and I went to Night Cafe Generator and asked for an apocalyptic war-torn city being sucked into a vortex, and this is what it came up with. I kind of didn't think it was dramatic enough, so I decided to use the supernova filter, but it washed out all the artwork a wee bit too much. So I decided to make a separate layer of the original artwork, and I'm now erasing all the parts that are sort of facing towards us so that they'll be darker again so that we can get more contrast back into the background. So when I turn on the duplicate layer again now, we can see that we've got much more contrast now. There's much more difference between the light and shadow. So then I asked the same AI art generator to make me a group of soldiers. I asked for wounded soldiers that are holding hands to form a circle, but what it gave me is not what I expected, but I really liked what it gave me, so I decided to use that. I didn't like the background of it, so I cut them out from their background and superimposed them onto this new background. Having a look at it then, I realised that I didn't like that you could see that car in the background, so I decided to cut out some of the other background, make a copy of it, and then flip it horizontally, move it into place, and then use the eraser tool to start feathering it in. Then I made a new layer that was just transparent so that I could use the light and shadow filters and make a vignette, which just frames the picture a bit and makes it feel like it's got slightly more contrast. Now, I needed a fair bit of tidying up around the soldier so that they blended more into the background a wee bit. So I selected all the empty space around the soldiers, increased the selection by about 2 pixels, and then feathered it by about 6 pixels, which took the sort of fringing, the white fringing away from them and made them feel a wee bit more blended into the actual scene. Now, this guy looks a bit odd because his back is highly lit. So I'm using the dodge tool here to bring down the color until it feels more like he's actually situated in the light source that we can see coming from the vortex in front of them. I'm just darkening him down and darkening. Also, I was trying to get rid of the fact that you can actually see that one of his legs was missing as well because of the way it was cut out. So this looks a bit more realistic to me now. So let's put the title of the song and my name onto the artwork now. This can be time consuming as well because quite often you can go down a rabbit hole looking for the right font and working out what color it should be and stuff like that. Luckily enough, I fell upon a font quite quickly. And I always like to use the color picker tool and actually pick a color that's in the artwork so that there's a limited color palette. It always looks a bit more artistic to me when there's a limited color palette in the artwork. So I unlocked the aspect ratio and just dragged it down to make the font a bit longer looking. And then I used the drop shadow function to give it a stroked outline in black, just to make it stand out a bit. And then when I put in my own name, I used the same font that I use in all my artwork and just selected a contrasting color from the title. So we have the song finished now and we have the artwork ready to go. So next week I want to mix and master the track and upload it to DistroKid along with the artwork and get it scheduled for release so that the week after I can do a lyrics video for the song. So that's it for today. I hope you found that interesting and useful, and don't forget like and subscribe and do all that stuff, help my channel to grow. I had an idea that maybe now I'm able to turn on some monetization things. that maybe I could turn on the membership section. Let me know what you think. I was thinking maybe I could make all the tabs available and all the stem files of all the songs I've created so far available free for members on the channel. So if you think that'd be a good idea, then let me know. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks so much, guys, for making it this far into the video. You guys rock.